today, because I guess anybody can be a Skywalker, and I'm on Tatooine. My name is Ben Skywalker. And with me is my friend, my partner in this, my fellow Jedi Master Tuck. How are you doing today, my
I'm
man?
doing great, sir. I'm doing great. How about yourself? Jeez, this
Doing
shirt is way
good,
too big
doing,
for me. Just realized that.
I'm doing good on this planet where I guess everybody shows up. If you're on a Disney Plus show or even
The
a movie, I guess they all show up here, right?
the only question I really have for you is, do you hate sand yet?
Not yet,
Okay.
but
Okay.
almost. I'm almost there.
Hey, hey, you're doing
Uh,
better than most. You're doing better
yeah,
than most.
it isn't everywhere. And of course, Anakin was right about that. And I'm not there yet, but actually, by the end of the episode, and I just might be,
You might be there. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'll put it like this. Right now, I don't hate it, but I strongly dislike it.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I don't mind sand. I just hate when it's really hot, which it always usually is when you go to the beach. So, yeah.
And I hate the smell. I hate the smell of the sand at the beach. And then that weird, like, seaweed smell.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. Well, yeah, you're smelling all that when it's mixed up with the sand and the seaweed. Yeah, it's all, yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, and
No, I know what you
they
mean.
should
Yeah.
do, they should do it for me. They should do it for me.
That's fair.
But
That's
we're
fair.
not here to talk about the sand, thank God. We're here to talk about the Star Wars.
We are. We are.
Yeah.
We are.
But I don't know. Have you heard any news lately about the Star Wars? I haven't heard of
I saw something
it.
about a casting for Ahsoka, but I honestly didn't even read it yet.
Yeah.
So, um, I can't imagine it was a big one. So yeah, no, I have. Other than that, though, I haven't really seen much.
The only thing I've seen was I started watching Sith Council, like call off today.
Hmm.
And apparently the original plan for Obi-Wan Kenobi show
Okay.
was mostly going to be focused on Obi-Wan and Luke, and not Obi-Wan and Leia. You
I'm
know, I
glad they
mean,
didn't go that way. Honestly,
yeah,
as much as I don't like the Ben, her knowing that he's Obi-Wan storyline from Obi-Wan, I still like that more than Luke knowing.
well, I'm not playing devil's advocate here. What if it was him as Ben on Tatooine, looking after Luke and training with Qui-Gon? Would you have liked that?
I guess because I don't know. Again, this is just sort of my interpretation of his line from A New Hope of you know when he says, "Do you think they mean old Ben Kenobi?"
Right.
It feels like it's somebody he knows or knows of, but doesn't know. No,
That
no. Do you
well.
know? Like he doesn't spend time with Ben on a regular basis. He's probably ran into him a few times in his life, obviously, but he's
Yeah.
never like spent a week with Ben or a weekend with Ben. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
No,
It
I
doesn't
know
feel
what
like
you
that.
mean. I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to think if the because if I'll be honest, if there's a season two,
Hmm.
I would want him to train with Qui-Gon
Hmm.
on Tatooine,
Yeah,
and maybe keep look out an eye on Luke, but without interacting with him all that much. Does that make
sure.
sense?
Well, and see, I think Alec Guinness Obi-Wan to me doesn't interact with Luke much at all. He just watches over him and makes sure he's safe.
Right, right,
Ewan
right.
McGregor Obi-Wan to me though is whenever he has a chance to talk to Luke, he's dropping little pieces of knowledge subliminally in the background of the conversation. Do you know what I mean? He's not overtly saying, I'm going to train you one day. You're going to be a Jedi. Like, he's not saying that, but he's saying things to Luke when he does talk to him to just basically, sort of keep him on the right path, going down the right path of the light side. So that's, I don't know. That's where it gets confusing for me, because I think the Obi-Wan we know, as far as Ewan McGregor goes, would definitely try to interact with Luke as much as possible, but still make it very rare. He wouldn't be overtly doing it, but I think he would try to be in his life.
Maybe it would be like, okay, follow me on this. Yeah, I'm assuming you know the show The Flintstones, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, follow me on this.
Okay.
Flintstone was a part of a bowling league, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm guessing he had friends on that league.
Sure.
What if Uncle Owen was on a bowling league, and on that league we had Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they were bowling league friends that Obi-Wan would take a glimpse at Luke every now and then, but not spend that much time with him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It feels like Owen and Obi-Wan, as much as they have a contentious relationship, they at least have respect for each other.
Right now, I think they're frenemies.
Right.
Yeah. Like you said, they don't hate each other, but they're not having a beer together. They're not. Yeah,
and if they do happen to run into the same bar, they might have a beer together, but that's it. But that's as far as it's going to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to avoid each other, but they're not going to try to run into each other either.
Right.
So
nobody's asking you to come hang out with them on a.
Yeah, it's not the Owen we met in the beginning of the series, the first episode or whatever.
Right.
It's not that same Owen, but he's still got that edge to him where he's like, "Look, this is my son now. Like, you need to back off."
Well, let me ask you this: when we last left him in Obi-Wan, Owen, I mean, does that for you line up when we see him in A New Hope?
What, letting Obi-Wan say, talk to Luke and stuff?
Yeah, like, in that minor relationship with Song Simpson of Owen and Obi-Wan, does that line up with what we see?
Because I think it's completely possible that him and Obi-Wan never do interact again.
Right, okay.
It's completely possible they never interact again. Or maybe once or twice, but not to the point where they have another conversation like they did in episode 1 or anything like that.
Let me ask you this now. In Obi-Wan, in the finale, we see Aunt Beru kind of being a badass.
Yeah.
Does not line up for you with A New Hope?
Not at all.
No, okay.
Not at all. And nothing against either actress that played the role. If she's that badass as a young woman, they would have put up more of a fight against the stormtroopers. I don't think they would have just got burned out that easily. I think there might have been a little more to that fight than just they got burned down.
We don't see them fight, first of all.
No,
we don't see them fight.
No.
And they might have. For all we know, they might have.
Maybe that was the last resort. They were like, let's screw it, burn them.
What else was I going to bring up?
It just doesn't line up, because she's just such a sweet lady in A New Hope. The woman that I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she doesn't have that edge to her that you would think somebody like that would have even at that age.
But we talk about it, and we even talk about it. But living under 2 sons, that could do something to your energy, man.
Well, you know what? We don't know.
I mean, you live in Miami, and you live in Florida. You know how hot one sun gets.
Man, let me tell you, today was rough. So yeah, I know exactly how hot it can get.
It gets hot here.
Well, here too, it's the humidity. That's the other thing here is the humidity. Yeah. So
maybe it's humid, Maybe it's like that only double on Tatooine.
Oh, you would think it
know?
would be double. Yeah, right. It would be
Yeah.
super, super hot.
Maybe that takes away some of the energy. I don't know. I might be grasping at the straws
Sure.
here.
I mean, just going from, just what I know about science and how our planet works. I mean, we're at a perfect distance from our sun, which is why we can live here. So I guess you would have to be farther away from two suns in order to live on that. Like, you couldn't be as close as we are to our sun to those suns and live there. I don't think it would just be it would just be literally a boiling planet. So yeah, again, we don't know though. We don't know. We don't know how close the suns are. We don't know where that planet is. It might be in the desert there because it's mostly desert, right? Tatooine is it's a desert planet, so it could be 200, 200 degrees, 250 degrees in the middle of the desert. We don't know that.
I'm just curious.
Sure.
And I don't know why this is thinking out to me, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
At the end of Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah.
that awful scene, who are you? I'm Ray Skywalker.
Okay.
That old lady, any theories on who she is?
Are you asking what I want it to be?
Either one.
What I want it to be, and I know it's not, is Aunt Beru. Her is still there, and she somehow survived. But who I think it is whoever obviously owns that property now. I mean, I would assume it's the person's wife or the person that owns the property.
I have a theory.
Okay.
I have a theory.
Okay.
And the timeline might end up. Right, and it might be right on timeline.
Okay.
What if is a mechanic from the Mandalorian?
Yeah.
I forget the character's name.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Amy Sedaris, isn't that her name?
Yeah, Amy Sedaris, thank you.
Yeah.
I forget that character.
Oh yeah, I don't remember her name in the show. No, I can't remember. But that would be interesting. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I could see. Yeah, I mean, I guess for Beru, it's way too late, isn't it? It's way too late because it's already been how long since?
Yeah, but then again, you don't know how humans age on that planet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I forget, maybe I'm wrong. I know she looks human, but is Amy Sedaris actually human? Do we know?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if she's
exactly. We don't know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but also different planets could have different types of humans too. If you, if you grew up on a different type of planet, even as a human, you would still adapt to that planet in certain ways. So yeah,
you know what?
My only thing is about what they wear on Tatooine. I have a real issue with them wearing clothes. Like I would be in like a tank top and like super short shorts.
hey man. People adapt.
Dude, and they're all like long pants, tight long pants, and long sleeve shirts and jackets and hoodies and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I'm just like, nope. Give me the least amount of clothes possible. That's where I'm going.
You know what? I think for my head canon, I'm going to make that character Amy Sedaris from now on. That would make me. That would make me want. That will make it easier. Not that much, but it would make it easier for me to watch that awful scene.
Yeah. My only thing is, if it's nobody, then why the hell is she in the middle of nowhere by herself?
I'll tell you the reason. I'm going to tell you the reason. Are you ready for this? I will tell you the reason.
Okay. I think I know what you're going to say.
They didn't have a plan.
No.
None. They had no plan.
It wasn't in the plan. It just wasn't in the plan. It wasn't in the plan.
They had no plan.
What are we going to do here? What are we going to do here at the end? Well, she's going to bury her lightsabers, and then some random old woman's just going to walk up to her and say, hey, who the hell are you? and she's going to say Rey Skywalker, and everybody's going to be like, "That's the greatest thing I've ever seen." No, the hell we're not going to say that's the greatest thing we've ever seen. That is the most insane thing we've ever seen because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird because of what we know about where that specific place is, and it's in literally the middle of nowhere. It's very weird to just have a random person. Like I said, to me, it only makes sense if it's the person that owns that property now.
And it's weird because I don't know if you agree with me. We don't talk. But one could argue that location in the Skywalker saga might be the most important location in the whole 9 movies.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you agree with me on that?
Easily, it's the most important place. Just like the Falcon is the most important ship in all of Star Wars. Right. I mean, it's not, the best ship. It's not the greatest ship. But the Falcon is the ship of Star Wars. It just is. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely.
It is odd. Okay, the Force Awakens isn't coming out. Mm-hmm. I mean, all saw that teaser with Sean Mayorga waking up on a different planet. Yeah. And everybody thought that was Tatooine.
Yep, absolutely.
Do you think it was a mistake for that not to be Tatooine?
Yeah, now, yeah, absolutely. Looking back at it, yeah. Because if you want, again, no plan, but if you had a plan and that was your plan to make her Rey Skywalker by the end, you could have maybe had some hints to where she had some inclination of the Skywalkers before that. Do you know what I mean? At least she heard the name before, and then she met him, and then she had an adventure with him. You could have at least did something with that storyline, and then she comes back, and she becomes a Skywalker, whatever. But again, no plan leads to no plan, and we get none of that. Instead, we get.
What was the name of that planet? It was Jakku, right?
That's Jakku, yeah. Which is actually a cool planet to go to because it's the last. It's the last battle after Endor of the war. That's actually where the last battle happens.
It's cool to go to, but when you read launching a series like this,
yeah,
and you want to continue on from Return of the Jedi. Mm-hmm. I talked all about this with my brother.
Okay.
For it not to have, it almost felt like in 7, 8, 9, they tried their damnedest not to include that much from any of the prequel trilogy or the original trilogy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had Han, Leia, and Luke. But get this. It took me a few months to realize this. Okay. In the sequel trilogy, no, not one mention of these following characters. Not one mention. Obi-Wan, not mentioned. Anakin Skywalker.
He's never mentioned in the sequels?
Nope.
Wow. I don't remember that, but okay.
Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, Vader was mentioned, but not Anakin.
Yeah.
Well. I guess it's really close too, but those are pretty important not to mention them at least once.
Yeah, I mean, and we don't even really get Sidious until the very last movie.
And again, no plan, because if we didn't have a plan,
I mean, you would think that even at that point, the Emperor would still be somebody that's at least mentioned, that's at least talked about as, something.
And I think that's the part that makes it clear they had no plan. But all of 7 and 8, not one mention of him until 9.
I didn't think about that, but dude, you're absolutely right about that. Wow. I'm actually more surprised there's no Obi-Wan reference from Luke, especially from Luke.
Well, think about it. Who met Luke in the sequel trilogy? Who ran into Luke? Rey.
Right, that's it. Well, and
Why?
Chewie was there with her, but yeah.
Okay, sure,
But
but
yes, I know what you mean.
I guess why. I guess I can see why the idea would come up. She knew really as a new character, we want to move forward. That's not draw the path. We won't mention Obi-Wan. And we're gonna, yeah.
I mean, I guess I can see that logic, but at the same time, again, I don't know how you leave those characters out completely and not mention the importance
And
of who they are.
think about it. You hear Obi-Wan when Ray finds the Skywalker. Not a Skywalker. When Ray finds a lightsaber in Force Awakens.
Yeah,
For a split second, you hear Obi-Wan.
yeah. It's the first voice you hear.
But no mention of him after that. No mention of him before that. You would think
Yeah,
Ray
no.
would. You would think Ray is like, I heard this voice, but I didn't recognize it. I have no idea who it is.
We do
You
hear his
know?
voice at the end too, though, right? We definitely hear his voice at the end in the last movie. I'm pretty sure of
Yeah,
that. Right?
I want to say yes. Well, we never got name. Yeah,
No, we
that's
don't get his
another
name.
thing.
You're right. No, we don't get his name at all.
That's another thing. We hear all these voices at the end of Lesson Skywalker.
Oh yeah,
Let me
that's
ask
the
you this.
biggest. That's the biggest mistake in all three movies, in my opinion. That's the biggest mistake.
Let me ask you this. Did Ray know any of those names? Did Ray know any of those voices?
I think don't see. I've always been under the impression that Force users can feel each other to an extent.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So maybe she doesn't know their name when she hears the voices, but I would think she would know these are Jedi. These are people, these are the Jedi that just kind of in a general way, just okay, these are the old Jedi that have passed and
Well, don't you think?
But you would think at some point, I just don't understand how Luke never teaches her about anything. Like
Right.
he would still want to say. I know he says in the cave scene where he talks about how, the Jedi got too involved in their own hubris and they failed and all that. I know he does talk about the Jedi, but he never talks about the Jedi the way you would think he would. As far as like they made mistakes, but they were still good people. I mean, these were good people trying to do good things. They just made mistakes. He's just like the Jedi were horrible. Like he's almost like condemning them with the Sith, and it's like that's not quite how it went. I mean, they made mistakes, but they weren't the bad guys by any stretch of the imagination in those situations. Like, can you really say you think Yoda did anything in malice? Like from a bad point of view, like he did what he thought was right based on what he was feeling, what his feelings were telling him. I mean,
let me ask you.
Sidious was powerful. Nobody can underestimate how powerful Sidious was to literally block the dark side from the Jedi Academy on the same planet he was living on. He was living on Coruscant, and he was able to block his dark side, energy from the entire Jedi. He interacted with them on a daily basis. I mean, he was very powerful. Like he can't be underestimated in how much he manipulated them also. So I don't know. I feel like Luke wouldn't hate the Jedi. He would just not want to make the same mistakes as the Jedi, which that's obvious.
Well,
it's weird. It's just weird for me how he makes that change where he just loses all hope and all of the good things of who he was.
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think we will ever get? I think we talked about this before, but I'll ask you again.
Okay.
Do you think we will ever get a series on Disney Plus? No, not Vader. That will show what happens to Luke
I
in
hope.
detail. In detail and say like, this happens, this happens. And that's why he goes off to whatever island that is. Do you
I
think
hope
that's
so. Yeah, I hope so, man. I really do because, like I said, for me, from what they have told me as far as canon goes and movies go, I just haven't seen enough to see the turn, for the turn to make sense to me. Like,
especially when we not saw him in the Mandalorian?
yeah,
When we
like
not saw
I
him.
can even grant like he walked away for a little while, but eventually there would be that fire in him to come back. I just, again, Luke always represented hope to me, and he always represented just that never give up spirit. So I just, it's just such a weird turn for him to completely shut himself off and never have any intention of coming back. Because when Ray goes to him, he doesn't have any intention.
No.
He has zero intention of coming back. Like you
It's
can
not
see it.
until he found out about Han, and even then,
Even then, he's still not ready to come back. Right. But you can
there's
see the
one.
switch in him where I really think it's the R2 scene that actually brings him back.
That is the only thing that he really is the Luke Skywalker we know.
Yeah. Oh, when he
Because
says R2, that's Luke, man. That is Luke to me right there. Absolutely.
when he says the heck sheep glow or the heck
Yes.
sheep tricks, that is Luke coming
Even
out.
when he's like language, like that's Luke being Luke. Like that's the playful Luke we know. Like he's
Right.
always being playful in a way.
And I'll be honest, I like the scenes of him training Ray on that island.
What do you mean? Oh, at the very end?
When we see him training her for
Yes.
that brief few minutes, I thought that was a good scene. What did you?
Yep. No, I had no issues with him in the movie at all, as far as him acting in it or anything like that. I think he was still great. I again, and even he has said it. Like he said many times, he's not happy with where they took the character.
No,
He was
he
not
has.
happy after episode 8. He just wasn't. And and from what I've read about what he said, I tend to agree with him. I just tend to agree with him that that's just not the Luke that he remembers playing, and that's not the Luke that I remember seeing on the screen. So, and again, they have the right to change it and do whatever they want with it. It's their property. I mean, I can't sit here and tell them what to do with it. It's just, I just don't see it tracking without, like you said, hopefully a series that explains a little more.
Again, I don't think that's coming anytime soon, sadly. You
Yeah.
know, that stupid comment Kathleen Kennedy made?
Yeah.
No more legacy characters. Okay,
I
you
think
can
that's
say
going to
that.
get walked back very soon. I think she's going to have to walk that back very soon.
Well, God, I hope so.
Yeah. Now, see, here's my question. So, okay, so he looks into Ben's mind, right? And he sees potentially what happened to Vader happening with Ben. He sees what what eventually
Right.
happens with Ben. I still can't get past this part. He lights his lightsaber up and cocks back, ready to kill his own nephew over a vision that hasn't even come true yet.
He only did that for previous. I never had a problem with that. I know.
Sure, but still, it's just the decision that I just don't see Luke ever getting to that point where he would actually light the lightsaber up. He might have been standing there with it in his hand, thinking about it after seeing this vision. But again, he never lit the light. Like the lightsaber never ignited and was ready to swing at Ben. At least from who I know Luke to be, he would never kill his own family over a vision.
Don't forget, there was a brief moment in Return of the Jedi where he had a lightsaber and he was ready to.
Yeah.
Was it Palpatine or Vader? He was ready to kill one of them, and he threw it down, and he said, "No, that was some kind of moment. That's why I don't have a problem with."
But do you not think that Luke would know what started Anakin down the path in the first place? What at least we know really started Anakin down that path was seeing Padme die in his dreams. Without that, he never turns. He has no reason to turn without that.
Hey, Brendan, how are you?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up? Welcome back.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, the reason he turns is because he wants the knowledge of how to save Padme from he.
No,
That's why he says to Mace Windu, "I need him," because he needs to save Padme.
Well, how would Luke know that? To be honest, to be
Obi-Wan
fair,
would have told him that for sure. Obi-Wan would have definitely told him that.
I'm positive about that because he didn't tell.
Yoda would have told him because he went to Yoda about the visions. Remember, that was who he went to and talked to about the visions. He sat down with Yoda, and Yoda told him, "Don't follow the visions, man. Like that leads to fear. That leads to hate. That leads to the dark side." He literally tells him that, and then he trains Luke. I don't know. I feel like Luke would have that knowledge by that point, and he would know that just basing a decision off of a vision you have or doing something off of a vision you have is not worth it. I think he would have that knowledge by that point. It's again.
No, I know. I'm not.
It's hard, man. It's hard to know. Yeah, it's hard to know. It's hard to know. That's why again we need something to fill in the gaps. Yes, we need something to fill in the gaps. I agree. I hope at least.
And it all could have been avoided if they had a fucking plan. And he's my language.
No, you're right. Well, I mean, look what they're doing with Andor. What if they did something like that with a Luke series where we got 3 seasons and all 3 seasons were in, 4 or 5 years apart from each other, and we kind of see just that. We see exactly that. Him, having this new academy, having been under his tutelage, seeing this vision, him dealing with it, and then ultimately what happened. Like, why did he eventually think that was the best decision he could make?
Yeah, man.
Or even 2 seasons. Maybe it doesn't have to be. Maybe just 2 seasons.
Maybe. I mean, and then the question becomes, what do you do about casting? Do you get Mark Hamill? Do you age, or do you get Sebastian Stan?
I think it's a combination of the guy. Did you see the behind the scenes for Mandalorian?
No, I read that. I read that.
For Boba Fett, I mean. Both of them were good. I watched both of them.
Okay.
But there's a kid that they have. He's really young, and he looks almost like Luke also when he was that age. But I think if you did him and a combination of him and Sebastian Stan, I think it would work.
But can that kid act? He could look like him, but can he act?
Yeah. Or just you know what? Take 3 years off. Take 5 years off of Sebastian Stan and just have him play Luke straight up. He's not. Yeah. It's not like he's super old. I mean, if he shaved and actually, I think he could still look a lot like Luke at that time.
Let me ask you this, though.
Sure.
We all saw what happened when somebody else played Han Solo.
It's different to me. It's different.
How so?
I think it's different.
How?
One, because Luke has said, or Mark Hamill has said himself that he thinks he could play the role. Okay. And I mean, everybody wants it at this point, and we know, and we've seen him. I mean, look, he is one of the best parts of the MCU, hands down. He just is.
Yeah. No, I agree. So
I think he's proven that he can. And again, and this isn't a shot at Alden Ehrenreich at all. I think Sebastian Stan is a more seasoned franchise actor at this point too. He knows how to go into a franchise that people love and be a character in it. And I think even though it's a beloved character, I think he could pull it off. I really do. And again, we might be having the same conversation about him afterwards. I mean, who knows? We might. Who knows?
We don't know. I mean,
yeah, it's not perfect, but I think it's as close as we can get to looking like him and getting a good enough actor. I mean, he's definitely, I think, proven himself as an actor.
Right.
Because he's been in other stuff too that he's good in. not just MCU and stuff like
And
that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I know in a short time, I really liked him on Once Upon a Time. That's when I first saw him.
Yes. Yeah.
As a
Absolutely.
Mad Hatter, he wasn't on it that much, but when he was on that show,
Yep.
he was great. As a Mad Hatter,
Yep. But he's even been in a couple movies, and I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember, but I've seen him in a few other movies that he's actually been really good at.
do you remember when he played the Russian spy in Hot Tub Time? No, he was in the Russian spy.
All right.
he, was,
You good?
he was in the Russian spy. He was a typical 80s villain in the Hot Tub Time Machine. When they were in the
Yeah.
Russian spy.
I think you've told me this before too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. He's the one that they're trying to get the mountain back or the ski lodge back from or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that, but yeah, okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, that's what I said. I think, if they, yeah, again, it's hard to not be disrespectful to Alden Ehrenreich, but I don't think he was ready for that role at that time. I don't think he was ready for who that, not who that was, but just, you know what I mean. The bigness of the role.
And that's fair. Also, you have to remember, that's right after Han Solo died.
Right.
Right after Han Solo died in The Force Awakens.
Yep.
So maybe it went too soon. I don't know.
Kind of compare apples to apples a little bit here. If this was the same type of movie comparably as Indiana Jones and he played Indiana Jones, would you be okay with it? Would you be happy?
I would not resist. I can't.
I know. I'm just saying, like, in general, if it was the same type, because a lot of people love Solo as a movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's just not a good Han Solo movie, or at least that's what a lot of people say. Or at least I think that. I've heard a lot of people say.
Personally, I did buy him as a young Han Solo. I know
Okay.
I'm in the minority, but I did buy him as that.
Okay, and that's fair.
So
Yeah.
If news came out tomorrow that he was going to be the young Indiana Jones, yeah, I think I would be fine with it. Now, I might be in the minority, and I'm okay with that. I'm probably in the minority of that, but yeah.
Oh, I don't think I would have a problem with it if they announced it now. I'm just saying if we saw the same, if it was a good movie, but a lot of people were like, it's just not Indiana Jones to me. That's kind of how I would.
There would have been a big backlash.
Yeah.
Huge backlash. And if that's what you were asking, yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been.
I think it's similar. It's the same thing. I mean, obviously, it's the same actor playing both of those parts, but also I think it's very comparable as far as how iconic those characters are in their own right.
And you think, he was almost not Indiana Jones. It was almost Tom Selleck. It was going to be Tom Selleck.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I have. Yeah.
And he had to back out to go to Magnum PI.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was a bad decision, but it obviously wasn't a great decision either. I mean, I don't know. It worked out for both of them. So
It's weird to think about. I don't. Can you see Tom Selleck as Indiana Jones back then?
I mean, I can't now only because of who we
Well,
got.
now he's old.
Yeah.
But
I could, yeah, I mean, I could see anybody playing it back then for sure. That was big.
What year was Indiana Jones released? Do you know?
Oh. It was after Star Wars, right? So it would have been
Behind me.
80. 85, 84,
81.
81. Okay, so he was still doing Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was
No,
yeah, that's right because it was in between episode 5 and 6, I think. Yeah.
right. And I'm wondering, when will
And he's coming back this year to do another Star, or next year to do another Indiana
Yeah,
Jones. They're
yeah.
filming it right now.
Okay, so the 81 would be 6 years before Three Men and a Baby. Did you see that?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You know, I'm trying to think of him in that, and about 5 years younger than that.
Right.
I think I know it's, my hand goes weird places sometimes.
But then who do you get to play him as young Indiana Jones in the third one?
Oh, I think that's never Phoenix. Why change that? I mean,
I think he looks at that time he looks a lot more like Harrison Ford than Tom Selleck. And I'm not saying he looks like either one. I'm just saying if you look at him, he definitely I could see Harrison Ford before Tom Selleck. I think I'd have to see them both at that time. It would be hard.
Yeah, I have to see a picture of him. Hold on.
Yeah, because he was good. He was good in that as young Indiana Jones. Because wasn't there talks of him coming back as that at some point, where he was going to be young Indiana Jones?
Really, he can't.
At that
He's
time?
dead. Oh, maybe at that time. I don't know. Yeah, I hear I know Harrison Ford. Let me bring this up.
Actually, he actually looks more like the bad guy that he's running from. He kind of looks almost just like a younger version of him. The one that corners him, and he uses the whip on him, and he cuts his chin.
Yeah.
That's. See, I love the Sean Connery one, man. I love I love the third one. The third one is so good.
Yeah, I have to admit, that kind of looks like a young Harrison Ford. I see it.
It's just they were always trying to find whenever they had younger versions of characters, they always try to find somebody that looked like them. And I don't know. Tom Selleck doesn't look like that. That wouldn't look like that.
You know who that kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of a young Leo DiCaprio.
DiCaprio. Yeah, looks like Leo. Looks like Gilbert Grape. Like who's eating Gilbert Grape? Leo.
It looks like Leo in Growing Pains. You remember when he was on Growing Pains?
Yep. Absolutely.
Boy, that's a trip. Leo DiCaprio on Growing Pains.
Dude, it's crazy how all we saw all these actors as like kids, and now they're like the biggest actors ever, man. It's so weird.
Anyway, I mean,
I know we got off on a tangent there.
Do you think we can see a younger Indiana Jones now? And if yes, who can play him?
I mean, I would love to see a younger Indiana, just to sort of have, even almost a reboot, just to sort of have the franchise back in a way. Wow. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Alden Ehrenreich give it a shot. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I think it would mean too much of a gimmick. I think
it would happen, right? But because because I
What
think you do have to get somebody that has that sort of look.
what about the kid who played Billy in Stranger Things?
Billy. Young Johnny Depp, or young Rod. I call him young Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, yeah, him.
Um, wow, that's not a bad pick, honestly. That's not a bad pick. I can see that. I can see that. You know who I could see? I don't think he'll do it either, only because I just think the role. I don't know. Maybe he would. Um, if he bulked up a little bit and they waited a couple years, Tom Holland.
He won't do it only because he's just an Uncharted.
Yeah,
And I think that's too much.
yeah. No, I agree.
Uh,
But
uh,
I think if he
I
had a
can.
couple more years to mature and he bulked up just a little bit, I think he could pull it off, man. Because he's actually a really good actor. When he's, I think he's been, taken. Obviously, I didn't like Uncharted much, but I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was bad in it.
I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah.
It also depends how young do they want to take him. Because
Yeah, I think almost
remember,
you have to cast a no name, right? Wouldn't you think? Get somebody that's never done it before.
remember there was talk about Chris Pratt doing it way back then.
Okay,
On Bradley Cooper.
I could see that. I could see that actually. Um, actually, wow, this is a weird one, but I think he. Well, no, it is Chris. That is Chris Pratt, right? From Guardians and
Yeah,
Jurassic
like
Park.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Chris Pratt. That's exactly. I literally just thought about that. I was like, wait a minute, he is. That is exactly what I'm thinking of.
How about this name? Chris Pine. Another Chris. But Chris Pine.
That's not bad. I have a weird pick for you, and I actually wonder what you would think about this. If he was younger,
Oh, okay.
around the time the show was out, let's say,
Okay.
Sawyer.
A lot.
Lost. Because he
Kind
can
of
be sarcastic and he can be that type of Harrison Ford from the original Indiana Jones, just snarky but always has something to say, always talking shit under his breath. He could definitely pull that off.
I have one thing to say to you.
Okay.
Son of a bitch, I like that.
I think that's a good pick, don't you?
I think
he'd have to dial Sawyer back just a little bit. He'd have to dial Sawyer
and
back.
you know what? I think if they did it now, I think you could still do it. I don't think it would ever happen, but if they did it right now,
sure.
I think you can still do it.
Oh, I think you could still do it too. I'm just saying, especially at that time, like when Lost was out or right after it ended, he could have definitely played Indiana Jones. I think easily.
How about Jack, Matthew Fox?
Maybe he might have been able to do it. He just, I don't. In the show though, he was always so serious.
Yeah, no, you're
but
right.
That doesn't mean that he can't play comedy either. I mean, he could be really funny. We just don't know. So, I'm trying. What else has he been in, though? Have you seen him in anything else?
Who?
Matthew Fox? I mean...
to be honest, most of them I haven't seen. There's one or two people that made it big. Like, I forgot her name. The woman who played Kate. She's now in the MCU.
Evangeline Lilly, yeah.
Right. She's big.
The guy that played Ben is big, too. I mean, he's not on a few shows since then.
I was saying that he's big on TV. He's not big in the movie.
Yes. Yeah, right. Yep. I'll tell you who else I like, and I think he could have easily worked in a show or a movie is Hugo. That guy is
Oh,
funny, man. That guy is super funny.
I love
Super
Hugo.
funny.
I love
Yeah,
Hugo.
dude,
Yeah,
that
okay.
guy should have been a star.
Going off on a major tangent.
Sure. I know. Hey, I don't mind at all.
You're a fan of the live action Lion King, right? Oh wait, no. Are you or is that Josh?
No, I love the live action.
Okay.
Yeah. I love both of them. Don't get me wrong.
Me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've always said, and I want to hear your opinion.
Okay.
Hugo and Charlie would have been the perfect live action Timon and Pumbaa.
Absolutely. That would have been great. I could see that easily. I can see that for sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
With them back and forth, it would have been perfect.
Dude, Hugo to me was easily one of my top 3 characters, top 5 characters in Lost. Easily, not even a question. Hugo is so great in that show.
We have to do some kind of podcast on Lost. It's my second favorite show of all time. Right
we
behind
could do a rewatch of it, man, and do episode by episode. I would absolutely do that. Go into the deeper meanings of everything and all that stuff. Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't tempt me. We'll talk off air. Sign me up. Sign me up.
I literally did. I hated that show when it was out, and not because I ever watched it, not because of anything like that. It was a weird jealousy thing more than anything. All my friends at the time watched it together, and I never watched it, so I wasn't caught up on it. So that day of the week I couldn't hang out with my friends, so I hated that show. But after I watched it the first time, I've watched it 5 times total since.
I think I'm up to 3 or 4 myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so good. It's so good. Dude, that first season, if you can't watch after that first season, I don't know what to tell you. Because that first season grabs me every single time.
I'll tell you, and I've been coming on Lost and talking about fucking I don't care. I'll tell you, the episode that tuned me, I was already on board, but the episode that got me hooked when we found out Ethan was somewhere else.
Yes.
And like, oh shit, this just got real.
Yep. I just love the format of that first season where they tell you everybody's story and it's so well done. And then you meet the other half of the island, the other half of the plane, and you meet the others, and like that season is just like crazy the whole time.
I have 2 favorite reveals in that show.
Okay.
The first reveal, I love the reveal of Desmond in the second season premiere.
Yeah.
When you see him wake up and work out in the morning, great reveal.
Yep.
And then the reveal at season 3. Spoiler alert, everyone. I'm about to give you a spoiler. But fuck it, I don't care. It's been 10 years.
Yeah, right.
The end of season 3.
Okay.
When you realize that whole 2 episodes were not flashbacks, but flash forwards. And Jack was like, we have to go back. And like, what the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck?
Dude, that was the first time when I watched it the first time where I was actually super confused. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Did they got off the island? When did they get off the island? No, they're not. They didn't get off the island. Wait a minute. Yes, they did. They got off the island. Like, I was so confused that entire season what was going on because it always, for some reason, I just couldn't believe that was a forward. I just felt it was in the past for some reason. Or an alternate past or something.
No, the majority of season 3 were all flashbacks. But the finale, the season 3 finale.
No, I know what you're talking about. When they meet up at the airport and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, no,
love
I know
that.
what you're talking about, but there were a few scenes where in the season where they're talking about that timeline's happening still in the season a couple times.
Yeah.
But it all comes together at the end. Yeah, right.
We have to know. We have to.
No, it's fine.
We have to know we watch. We
Hey,
have to
like I
know
said,
we
I'd be
watch.
down for that. I'd be down for
We
that.
maybe get Josh in on it too.
Oh,
Because,
absolutely.
oh
Yeah, why not?
man, keep them and getting
Like I
lost.
said,
I love it.
I can do a 4 hour episode on every episode, so
Me,
I can go deep into
I can
every
do. I
episode,
can
man.
do. I can do 5 hours or 10 hours.
All right, let's do
Man,
it. Let's do it.
we'll. But let me get check this out for a segue.
Okay.
Shortly from Lost,
Yeah,
central of character in Rise of Skywalker.
it's true. That is true.
Now we're back. Now we're back on Star Wars. Best segue
That's
ever.
true. Hey, hey, I love it. So I want to actually get to the question that we had posed for this episode, man. Jedi vs Sith.
I think I'm a Sith. I think I'm a
You're
Sith.
Sith?
How about you?
Oh, I don't know, and I'll tell you why. But I think I lean more towards Sith. I want to fly. I want to fly. I want to fly, and I think there's a way to use the Force to fly. I just feel like that's a possibility. On some planet, you can use the Force to fly. I just feel like that's a possibility.
I'll tell you why I want to be Sith. For one simple reason. I want unlimited power.
Dude, Force lightning is still one of the greatest things ever. And yeah, no, I mean, that's one of the coolest things ever, dude. It's one of the awesomest things ever. Shooting lightning bolts out of your fingertips is just so cool. I don't care. That's so awesome.
I want unlimited power.
I think it would depend on the time period. Like if it was during the Empire time, I definitely want to be in a good Sith. Yeah. Like I want to be Vader's right hand man, no doubt. And Emperor's right hand man for sure. But if we're talking about like before the before the fall, I might want to be a Jedi, man, because that would be awesome to walk around just the Jedi Temple, man, all the time and be able to interact with like Mace Windu and Yoda and Kit Fisto and all that.
I feel like you would have to be high up to interact with him, though. I feel like if you were
not on a daily basis, but I guarantee they're walking around because there's scenes in episode 2 where like Yoda's on that little thing floating around, and they're just walking through like certain hallways.
Yoda's on that thing floating like a pot. Like that is so cool.
Yeah. It's like the Baby Yoda one. It's like the little egg thing, but it's just like the little platform version.
I am learning. I am.
Dude, what if that's actually Yoda's bed that he has now? Baby Yoda has like Yoda's old bed, like that's where he slept at, like at the at the academy.
Dude,
like that.
Dude.
That was his old bed. But we do see Yoda training the younglings.
Yeah,
in the one scene.
Yeah, we do.
So he does they do interact a little bit with him. So I think it just is a time period because, like, how cool would it be to have been a Sith during like Revan's time?
Yeah, so cool.
That would have been awesome to be a Sith during that time. Yeah. Now you have to watch your back every second of your life, but that'd be an awesome time to be around.
Yeah. All right, man.
I think Sith overall, right? Is that where we're both going? Sith overall?
Yep.
All right. I like it.
All right, man. Let's wrap up. Don, my friend, my favorite Jedi Master. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Absolutely. So you guys can find me on Twitter at Jedi Master Tuck. You guys can find me here every Monday doing the Fellowship of the Geekdom show, which is our new show, guys, we're doing on Mondays. And we have this show on Wednesdays, Jedi Academy. And then Sundays, we have the Geekdom Uncut. So much fun over there. Please like and subscribe, everybody.
Yeah.
Brennan, thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you. I don't know if he's here. We might have scared him off with all
We
those
probably
lost
did scare him off. Yeah, absolutely.
Doma initiative talk scared him. All right, everyone. You guys can find me at my Twitter @Ben_radio. Like Don said, every Monday on Fellowship of Geekdom, every Wednesday right here on Jedi Academy, every Friday on Weekly Geekdom, every Sunday on Geekdom Uncut. You guys can also find me at the Northern Entertainment Group every Tuesday on Rewind the Tape, and every Saturday on the Northern Countdown. Please like and subscribe to this channel. We have some fun stuff planned.
Yes, we
Some
do.
really fun stuff planned. Come,
Absolutely.
and we'll see you soon. Later.